What up, YouTube? It's your favourite Steve. How you doing? Um, as I mentioned in my previous vlogs this week, I want to do at least one wrestling vlog a week. Um, if you don't know, I'll let you know. Um, I'm a, if I'm geeky about anything, it's pro wrestling. So, I've tried wrestling vlogs in the past where it's just me sitting there predicting um, like wins and losses of matches, and I've watched them and I've been bored, so I can't imagine anyone who's watched them previously would be entertained by them unless you're as geeky as me about wrestling. So what I thought I'd do, I'm going to start doing a weekly one where it's my top and bottom five for the week of wrestling. To start off on my first one, I'm going to do my top and bottom five of WrestleMania this past week. I'll admit I've had to re-watch bits because I fell asleep halfway through. It was on from. I watched the pre-show, so the pre-show started at 10 p.m. And then the actual WrestleMania show ended at, I think it was about 5 a.m. or just before 5 a.m. And I had to work in the morning, so it was pretty ridiculous. Anyway, right, so I'm gonna start with the negative. So I'm gonna start with my bottom five for WrestleMania 33. Right, number five, it's a small one. The Hardys return. And now I'll go into the Hardys later on. But I am worried that this gimmick that Matt Hardy's brought upon himself, with, he had, don't get me wrong, I don't watch TNA or Impact Wrestling, whatever it's called now. But I know he was making a name of himself doing the Delete and the compound that he had and those matches that he was having with Jeff, Brother Nero, with the unique filming with the drone and stuff like that. I don't know, I wasn't following it religiously, but I know it was unique, and I'm worried. It was kind of a thing of, I was worried when they made their return, they came out to their old Hardy music, and yeah, you had the crowd doing the Delete. He did a bit of the Delete in the match, but I don't know. It just seemed to me that they were just back as the Hardy Boys. Yeah, he looked different, but nothing was really acknowledged about it. He was just back as the Hardy Boys. It worried me a little bit. So that's number five. Number four, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. A lot of things annoyed me about this match. My top three. My prediction, if you go back to my predictions, I think it was about a week ago. My prediction for the winner was the Big Show. I felt the Big Show should have got this. The rumour is he's going to be retiring pretty soon. If not, he's already retired. Also, he, he's meant to be having this match with Shaq. He didn't get it. It didn't come through. He got in brilliant shape, got in fantastic shape, and I think he was one of the first ones to be eliminated. It was really rubbish for him. Also, Braun Strowman. If it wasn't going to be the Big Show, it should have been Braun Strowman, and he was kind of wasted in the mix as well. Also, don't know, I've got nothing against Mojo Rawley or whatever his name is. I like him. I like the whole hype thing. It's not a gimmick, it's him. But I felt he won because he's friends with an NFL player, and that NFL player was in the front row. I did think it was funny that the actual security tried to stop him from getting in the match, which was pretty hilarious. Number three, The Proposal. John Cena and Nikki Bella. I just thought it was cringeworthy. It was like watching. Don't get me wrong, I don't watch it religiously, but it was like watching an episode of Total Divas or Bellas or whatever it's called these days. I just felt it was so set up. I kind of knew it was going to happen beforehand. Um, it was kind of, if you live in the UK, it's like Only Ways Essex. It just felt so set up, and everyone knew it was going to happen, and it's all like a surprise and stuff like that. I think stuff like this is saved for, you know what I mean? It's not like Macho Man and Elizabeth back in the day. They were already married. It's part of a storyline. These two aren't already married. You're meant to take it as it's real. It was, ugh. Right, number 2, the length of the show. As I just mentioned, it was on for 7 hours if you watch the pre-show. It was just, I mean, I don't know if it didn't end the way it ended. It was hard work. Getting through 5 hours of the whole show. I understand what they're doing. They're trying to give everybody time and like main event time for each of the matches, because there was a lot of main event quality matches on the show, but 5 hours, if you watch the pre-show, 7 hours, that's just way too long. I think last year's was 6, this year's was 7. I thought they were going to learn, but man, it was a long night. And then number 1 for my bottom 5 was Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt. Just this whole storyline, the whole way this has been set up has been, for me, just, I don't know. I haven't liked it. I also haven't liked. I just didn't like the whole way the match was set up. I've heard before about the feeling is that these two just aren't particularly bothered. I don't think it's the fact they're not particularly bothered. I think they stick with the storylines, and this has been pretty awful. Just to go on WrestleMania on its own, the match, it was okay as it was going on, but when they started doing the graphics in the ring of the maggots and the cockroaches and the spiders or whatever it was, I don't know. My problem is, if you're going to do like these hocus pocus kind of stuff, I don't think it was the match before, a couple of matches before, you had Seth Rollins with the torch and he set fire to the ramp, and it was like symbolic. I get that it was meant to be symbolic, but then you can't have a couple of matches after, where it's meant to be that the guy's in control of getting cockroaches in the ring. I just think it was stupid, it was ridiculous. It shouldn't have been for the WWE Championship. Just, for me, I didn't enjoy it. Right, let's get on a more positive note. My top 5 for WrestleMania. Right, number 5, Goldberg versus Lesnar. I thought this was brilliant. I thought, for me, it was more than what I expected. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but just hard hitting, straight at it, no messing about. Just, they did what they had to do. It was 4 minutes or 5 minutes or wherever it was. They just got it done. Suplexes, F5s, jackhammers, spears, what they're good at. And I thought it was a really good match. For what I expected, I just thought it was going to be like a few seconds or whatever, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. And number 4, it was my number 5 in the bottom, but number 4 again in my top, the Hardys return. As much as I'm worried about where it's going to go, where I just think they're going to end up being the Hardy Boys again, and all this hard work that Matt Hardy's put into his new character is going to get forgotten. We can see what happens. I'm not going to completely bury it now, but just seeing the Hardys return at WrestleMania was kind of brilliant. Just as a nostalgic kind of thing, just seeing the Hardys back at WWE. I thought it was brilliant, just seeing them in a ladder match, seeing Jeff Hardy do the swanton off the ladder, brought back memories. I just thought I just thought the return of the Hardys was nice. I'm just worried my bottom five, why they were part of the bottom five, was because I'm worried about where it's going to go. But the top five, the return, just seeing them together, seeing the match, seeing them in a ladder match, the surprise, I thought was brilliant. Number three, which I didn't think I'd say this, well, actually, I said in the predictions I thought it was a match that was maybe a show stealer that people were sleeping on, but Shane McMahon versus AJ. Match to match, bell to bell, I thought this was the best match of the night. So I'm putting this as number three because I thought it was the best match of the night. It was way over what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more of a spot fest kind of match, especially with Shane. But it was a good match, a good back and forth match, a few like high spots in there, and I thought it was a really good match. Number two, JR. Just seeing JR back behind the table, back where he belongs as a commentator, and everything that he's been through in the past few weeks, I'll take my hat off to WWE and Vince for putting him in that position. Main event. I think the last time I saw him commentate a match was on ITV, the wrestling show that they had at Christmas. But he was there behind the table, calling Undertaker Roman Reigns. I just thought it was great, a really nice touch. And I'm sorry, the professionalism of him. I don't think, if you don't know, his wife passed away in really tragic circumstances where she was in a bike crash or in a moped crash. I'm not 100%, but she was in some kind of crash, and she died. It was really tragic anyway. And then a week after, he was commentating the main event of WrestleMania, so I think it was really nice. And then number one, it's got to be number one, the Undertaker, the retirement of the Undertaker. Well, I don't mean to be picky. The bit where he was back in his suit was a bit what? I didn't get that where he was back in his hat and suit, but I get the concept. He was putting the gloves down, the hat down, the coat down, and leaving it in the ring, as like a kind of what a boxer would do, where they leave their gloves. I understood it. Don't get me wrong, I didn't. I enjoyed the match. It wasn't the best match of the night. Sorry, man. But just the Undertaker retiring, and you think about everything that he's done. And I know some people aren't going to say he's the greatest wrestler in the world, but you put him in the ring with like the greats like Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle, and sorry, let me clear my throat. You put him in a match with people like that, and he stole the show every year. Understanding facing Roman Reigns, he's passing it on to the person that WWE see as the future and the next person that's going to take WWE to the next generation. But thank you, Dead Man. It was he was a massive part of anybody who watched WWE back in the day, and has been a part of so many classic matches, so it's got to be my top number one of WrestleMania. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, watching, whatever. If you enjoyed the video, please comment below. Let me know what your top 5 moments of WrestleMania was and your bottom 5. And also, let me know if you enjoyed the video, if you like the concept. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow back on the normal vlog. So peace out, stay safe, stay beautiful, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow.